In this episode of My Perfect Country, we shall be going through the highlights of what we have covered so far. And I started this series by looking at a musical identity, in a sense, interrogating whether or not we have lost our musical identity. Kawira Kithenji brings you this report.
Villages to urban hotspots, Kenyan music is thriving, and with time it has experienced steady evolution. Some have criticized it, however, as noise. What is music? Come with me. We live in an age of plunder in which music made in one place for one reason can be immediately appropriated in another place for quite another reason. Sing Africa, a Days2 singing group, has been singing African music for the last 20 years. While the concert was going on, I got time to ask, why this genre of music?
But then again, it goes back to, what is our motive, what is our heart. So
African music is our core. We're African.
A strong argument out there is that evolution of social factors have influenced music. But should this influence extend to gospel music? Should there be a difference between secular and gospel music? For Adventists, with their distinct style of music renowned worldwide, music is part of their identity. I caught up with Warren Dwalo, an official and a musician who sings tenor for New Life Adventist Ambassadors Choir, and asked him whether or not change has affected their music.
As Christians, one of the things we have to make sure, we have to maintain, is the Christianity and divinity in our music. And even with change, when change comes in, we either use it to the best, to better the way of Christianity or divinity, or rather just remain as you are if it wouldn't help.
So while ambassadors were doing the last-minute practice for their third DVD launch, I had time to find out whether or not the kind of music you listen to says anything about your identity.
So I'd say yes, it does have a bearing on how you behave.
for sure music does define the kind of person they are.
The experience of identity describes both the social process, a form of interaction, and an aesthetic process. So whether or not the kind of music you listen to says anything about your identity.
Yes, by and large, I strongly believe that the kind of music that one listens to, especially me, defines who I am.
I believe to a great extent defines who I am. Everything that I do mostly comes from that, from the music I listen to. I may not be aware of it consciously, but it is there.
Diversity is good, change is unavoidable, but this change should be within the acceptable. And yes, the next time you claim to be a musician, make an effort of playing an instrument. Kawira Kithenji for My Perfect Country.
If music describes both the social process and a form of interaction, what about the music that Kenyans are listening to? I had an opportunity to interview Priscilla Ariokot, a music major in Daystar University and a performing artist, and this is what she had to say. Watch.
When you listen to Kenyan music, everyone is sounding like the next person. Everyone is trying to mimic something that they've seen somewhere, but there's something great in just sounding the way you should sound, the way you sound.
In being original.
Yeah, in being original, yeah.
We shall take a commercial break, but coming up next in business, should youth engage in dairy farming? Don't go anywhere.
Every night this week on BBC Radio 3 and BBC 4, the BBC Proms. Be moved this summer.
Welcome back. And in business, growing up in the countryside, we were always encouraged to study hard so that we do not end up being farmers. Is this mentality to blame for the many youth that do not want to engage in farming? Is this mentality to blame for the food insecurity of this country? Jeff Koech Kendagot has this report.
Dairy
farming makes an important contribution to Kenya's economy by ensuring a safe and reliable food supply, as well as creating job opportunities. Agriculture is indeed essential, but the question is, in this age of joblessness, why are the youth not investing in agriculture? Agriculture has long been regarded as the backbone of Kenya's economy, and yet according to the United Nations, African youth are leaving farming at such alarming rates. This despite the fact that Kenya's unemployment rate currently stands at 40%. So what makes African youth lose interest in agriculture?
Agriculture in Africa is not really, it doesn't really pay off. There are a lot of middlemen that make money out of the hard-working farmers. I'll give you an example. Look at the price of milk right now. Kenyans are buying milk at 170 shillings while the farmer is selling at 30 shillings. Why would I go and do farming when they are ripping us off? The government does not support you. There are no subsidies for farmers. And at the end of the day, it is a pointless, thankless job.
The moment that the youth get up, the moment they wake up and realize that there are opportunities, there are lands lying all over, without anybody doing anything about them. Look at this piece of land. I'm so sure that Daystar could say, some youths here would be like, why can't we suggest to Daystar that we start ABCD and do irrigation? Because it is taking people to the next generation, whether it's fruits, watermelons, anything, you name it. Even if you decide to plant trees and then after 10 years or so you cut them down and sell them, there is money.
A strong illusion out there is that this job is not cool. Others think that this is a dirty job. But the point to remember is that there are 40 million Kenyans, 40 million stomachs to feed 3 times or more a day. Some of the reasons why youth do not find agriculture to be interesting include lack of access to information, lack of credit, and negative perceptions around farming, some of which shaped primarily by the significant barriers in accessing capital. So are youth justified in leaving agriculture? I went to talk to manager at Alfin Farm, one of the leading producers of yogurt in Machakos County.
Dairy farming, there is challenges in dairy farming. So it's not easy for dairy farming to the farmers. You must work hard.
This state of affairs has prompted concerns among some quarters of experts who've pointed out its unsustainability. So should youth only rely on white-collar jobs? I met with Kevin Mutuo and Richard Mutiso, who work at Daystar University's finance office, and this is what they had to say. First, Kevin Mutuo.
I think we are doing too much of importations of a lot of things, and then if we don't even produce ours, including the agricultural one, then it will be handy for us to come up with a sustainable economy. So I think for us to sustain our economy, it is our duty to encourage the youths to get into activities like farming or poultry, dairy
businesses. Like agri-business, whereby they want to become like dairy farming or any other business where they can engage into. It gives them an opportunity even to explore their talents, and it also gives them the opportunity to even employ other people.
Agriculture is a major industry here in Kenya, and for a country that is not food secure, this is even more crucial. For my perfect country, I am Jepkoech Kendagon.
So, if farming is a source of income, a form of entrepreneurship, why is this nation importing so much food from the outside? Why are so many youths preferring to only sit in an office and hope to get a good paycheck? I had an opportunity to put this to Fred Kiyo, himself a dairy farmer, an entrepreneur and a corporate executive, and this is what he had to say.
I mean, in a big way, first of all, we're in an age of digitization, and that means the millennials that we discuss it today, they actually get into a stress where it's not your usual kind of an environment for business. The question is, these youth that we are talking about, who are their mentors, who are the people they talk to? The so-called stuff that people discuss about, the opportunity is also limited. So for me, I keep on saying, getting to an area where you're going to create your own niche. But the most important thing, even before you talk about whether the thing is cool or not, are you passionate about what you do? If the passion is there, you can overcome it. If the passion is not there, whether it is cool or not, then there you go. And for me, I would encourage the youth to really reconsider what the term is cool or not. It is being projected that the world produces about 40% of what is expected to be consumed globally. I was reading a report last week that said by 2050, food production, we need to produce more capacity, more than 70% of what we are producing today. So it may appear not to be cool, but if the opportunity that way it is, then you need to get the resources and you find time to do what is cool with the resources that you get.
Oh, Egg McMuffin. Good call, babe. Fresh cracked egg. Oh, look at all the fruit in here. We've got to try this, honey. Oh, you're not my honey.
It's so good.
The simple joy of getting lost in a great breakfast.
That's actually how we met.
Ew.
When in 1989 Sir Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, it was meant to bring more people to embrace information sharing. However, in 2017, and it's the age of information, the word that has come to be synonymous of this age is internet security or cyber warfare. Katehi Mwaniki has this report.
There is a place on the internet where 2 billion of us spend our time regularly, others several times a day. It has been called the biggest company in the world because of how we have allowed it into our lives. The big days, the lowest moments. How much of your life is controlled by algorithms? Is your personal information safe at the hands of the internet program?
To many people, the internet has opened up many prospects, building some of the most profitable companies in history. However, with artificial intelligence beginning to gather ground, concerns have been raised about the amount of data we freely share on the internet. How much is too much information when it comes to sharing on Facebook, for instance? When does sharing become oversharing, and when does it become a personal safety risk? I went out to speak to Destarians about this.
No, I'm not on Facebook, but I've had an account before. I deactivated it because I think Facebook for me is overrated. Everyone is practically on Facebook, even a 5-year-old.
Yes, I have a Facebook account. I don't think so, because many persons can see it, and we see a lot of virus and hackers who take all these things. So.
The Internet of Things is connecting more and more devices through the internet, and in fact by 2020 there will be 24 billion devices connected to the internet.
More and more people will be joining the World Wide Web, and since advertising is the main source of revenue for majority of these internet firms, is such information as where you live, your age, gender, level of education, employment details, language, the type of device you use, income level, relationship status and details, life events, political engagement, shopping and buying behavior, the type of car you own, the bank you use, your TV and music interests safe? I went to talk to the head of Department of Computer Science at Daystar University, Mr. Fred Ogore, and this is what he had to say.
We do share a lot. When people are opening their Facebook accounts, when people are subscribing to some service, maybe online resources like Amazon, e-commerce sites, people share too much because the page requires you to give information about yourself, your education, maybe sometimes education background, the number of your dependents. Okay, so there could be sites that are intelligent. The people are kind of doing information gathering, so they're asking you so that they can use that information, even sometimes for hacking. Yeah, so we share too much on social media, e-commerce sites, and many that are targeting novice users.
Internet is here. That's the reality. And if majority of the world's population is already on the internet, it's not hard to see why so many entrepreneurs out there will want to maximize on that. What then should a consumer like you and me do to ensure that data is safe and still be able to enjoy the World Wide Web? I caught up with Tom Wakala, an IT specialist at Daystar University, and this is what he had to say.
On the internet, you have different sites on the internet. You have like the social media, like things like Facebook and such things. So you need to know what you're supposed to share on your Facebook posts and so maybe WhatsApp. Then you have other internet sites like maybe LinkedIn, where academic people and such things, professionals meet. So you need to know what you're supposed to share there. So it's just a matter of an individual knowing what's supposed to share and it's on which site.
This growth has brought about several benefits. It will no doubt change the way people carry out everyday tasks and potentially transform the world. But it does come with several risks, some of which we have chosen to ignore. Reporting for My Perfect Country, Gateke Mwaniki.
To discuss this, I went and spoke to Jared Yegon, who works for the judiciary as the Assistant Directorate of Internet Security and Networks. And I asked him, how safe is our information on the internet? This is what he had to say.
Security starts with everyone. As much as the hacking was done in Yahoo, I believe the report started from an individual account, so that the hackers had an easy way of accessing this data. Server side of the Yahoo, I might not tell much because that depends on the kind of policies and the kind of security measures and mitigating factors they had put in place. If they hadn't, then to be hacked is quite easy. Because accessing Yahoo is a public domain, it's a public system, which I can use a number of tools to spoof into and get information, yes. But that really depends on the mitigating factors and security features a company has used. On the individual side, if you have very weak password, your account is maybe jared.yegon@yahoo.com and my password is jared.yegon, surely someone can just make one or two attempts and make a guess and is there. So it's squarely again starts with an individual user.
Juice drinks, sodas, and sports drinks are loaded with added sugars and calories and have little or no nutritional value. Sugary drinks can destroy teeth, cause obesity, and lead to type 2 diabetes. Sugar bites. Protect your kids.
Continue sending your iReports to our Facebook and Twitter platforms at My Perfect Country and in Facebook, My Perfect Country. Here are a selection of 2 of my best so far. Enjoy.
Okay. Hello, my name is Daisy, and I like house music because I'm relaxed, I guess. So, hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Steph.
What music do you like?
I love soul music.
Why do you like it?
Because it looks real and it sounds more better than the other modern music.
Mm-hmm. What does it say about you?
Nothing really, but I feel more comfortable with it, and yeah, it just feels good.
Okay, thank you. And to our next. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Viola.
What music do you like?
Country music.
Why? What does it say about you?
About me, like
yeah. What traits? Okay, what does it say about you? Because music communicates.
It says a lot, like I'm being classic and real.
Yeah, because she's classic and real. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So those were their views. So thank you for seeing this.
Politics of reason. Is it really reserved for the elite? I really don't think so. I think reasonable politics can be played by anyone, really, whether elite or not. But it becomes harder to do when the elite use politics in their favor, making laws or simply just not caring about the little man. And then the little man has to do things like accept 50 shillings to cause mayhem, and instead of like talking out a problem or going to a public parliament or looking for their senate or something, like that 50 bob becomes more important, you get. And the ability to reason in itself is kinda diminished. Because their reasoning is not on the idea of politics, the reasoning is more on what can I do for my family, for me. So reasonable politics can be for anyone and for everyone. It just depends on whether it's actually done well. Like it's politics in general, just the dispersal of the breakdown of power. Is it for everyone or just for the elites? Because if it's for the elites, it's not going to be that reasonable. Now is it?
I think politics of reason can definitely be something that is for an elite group of people. However, I don't think it is exclusive to them. I think people who are not elites can carry out politics of reason, but I just don't think it is easy. It will be challenging for anyone who is not an elitist, who doesn't have the basic necessities to be reasonable in a political situation.
I think yes and no also in some ways. To reason politically in an objective manner does need you to be removed from the problems of the day, which would mean that you need to be an elite. You'd need to have enough money to live and to eat and to take your kids to school. But if you're broke and hungry and you don't know where fees is coming from or rent, your politics won't be very reasonable. Yeah.
And now to the story that you have been waiting for. And I recently visited Turkana town, a town which is in northeastern Kenya, Marsabit County, a town which is also only 15 kilometers from the Ethiopian border. All of a sudden, marginalization came into context. And to bring you this story is the son of Turkana town himself from Marsabit County. His name is Andrew Adam. This is his report.
Hello, I am Andrew Adan and I would like to take you guys through my story. I'm from Turkana. It's at the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. It's in Marsabit County. From Marsabit town to Turkana, it's around 200 kilometers. In Turkana town, basically, people who live there are the Gabra community, and usually they're the pastoralists, and they're at the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. They have also some hostile communities that surround them. We have Borana from Ethiopia, and the Dasanach. They're just in Kenya, but they're that side of Lake Turkana. I also had a chance to talk to some of my friends who are in Daystar University, and they're also from Africa, and we shared the same story, and this is their story.
I come from South Sudan. So we seceded from Sudan in 2011, but still issues of marginalization have not stopped. You know, there are some tribes that are dominating everything. Others are not even given chance to express themselves in government. Others not. You can't even hear of some tribes. You know, and this syndrome in Africa of one tribe being known everywhere is very bad. I am a Dinka, and everywhere I go, I only hear people, okay, Dinka from South Sudan. Why is it that other people are not heard? Like South Sudan has over 64 tribes, but you can only know Dinka and Nuer only.
I'm from Burundi. Before it was the Tutsis who were in the power for a long time. Then when the Hutus took power now, it came to bring a change where each and every person feel that he's a Hutu. He has to be like a leader or be in front of a Tutsi, where Tutsis feel like they are marginalized.
I come from Turkana. the roads are very bad. So maybe if we are transporting food from the main city to back to Turkana, it takes like 2 days, 3 days before the food arrive. Every government that comes into power promises they'll do this, they'll do that, but rarely does anything happen.
The challenges of living in Turkana are immense. You have to pay 1,000 Kenyan shilling to travel from Turkana to the county headquarters, across the Chalbi Desert, probably at the back of a lorry. No tarmac road, no electricity, and to look for water, you have to walk for long distances. This is approximately 2 kilometers from Turkana town, and here are where the AIC's missionaries are stationed. They are also planning to set up a radio station up here. The radio tower has already been constructed in Uri Hills, which is approximately 65 kilometers from here, but they said they want to set up the radio station here so that they are able to spread the word of God to each and every person in this region.
My name is Eddie Anderson. I've been working now in Turkana. We started first our outreaches to this area about 4 years ago. And visiting upon this area along the border of Kenya and Ethiopia, we found that there was a large area of unreached people. They hadn't had any churches, they hadn't had any evangelical witness, and they had many challenges with water, with droughts. And so, having been working in Kalacha for the last 8 years, my wife and I felt God calling us to help out this area.
So I am Andrew Adan, and that's my story.
Indeed, My Perfect Country is anything but. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying with us. If you have any strong opinion, any comments that you'd like to leave with us, feel free to do so on Facebook, My Perfect Country, or on Twitter at My Perfect Country.